Hello, lovely students. Welcome back to Trending Speech Family. Today, we're going to look at some common words you might be mispronouncing. Don't worry, they're not so difficult words. I coined them out very common words that you are familiar with, okay? And these words are words we're going to be pronouncing using the British accent, okay? So stay tuned. Let's learn together. The first three words we're going to look at is castle, sachet, and depot. These words are words with a silent T, okay? And silent letters are letters that are not heard in a word when you're pronouncing them. So you don't have to pronounce the T in these words. For example, you have the first word, which is castle. How do you say this word? Do you say castle? No, it is castle. Castle. The T is not heard, is not pronounced, so you shouldn't say it in this word, okay? But a lot of learners will always say castle, that way pronouncing the T, okay? The second word here is sachet. Sachet. So you say a sachet of water, a sachet of milk, okay, and not sachet. The T is not heard in this word, okay, so you shouldn't try to pronounce it when you're saying this word. Number three, you have depot. Depot. The T is not heard in this word, so you don't say depot or whatever. The T is silent. You can also see in the pronunciation of those words that the T is silent. The T is not written in the pronunciation. I hope you got that. Okay, so that consonant is not pronounced in these words. Okay, now let's move on to the next set of words. Okay, the next set of words displayed here has the vowel letter, and a lot of English students always find it difficult to pronounce this vowel letter in word. Okay, so let's look at the word. We have would, should, could. Okay, the vowel there is O, so you say would, should, and could. Okay, it is very easy if you keep practicing. When you're trying to make a sound, the O sound, make sure that your lip is a bit rounded. The O, 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 would, should, could. Just the same way you say good. Okay, it's very easy when you keep pronouncing. Now let's look at this word too. Okay, this group of words, they're very common, and a lot of people usually mispronounce it. But we're going to look at them one after the other. The first one here is this word. How do you say it? Do you say salmon? Salmon? No, it is salmon. Salmon. Okay, because the L in this word is not pronounced. It is a silent letter. There are other words like this. Also, almond. Almond. You don't say almond because the L in this word is silent. I hear a lot of speakers usually say almond. It is almond. And then in this category, we also have have. This one I hear more often. It is have and not a have. It's not have, but have. The L is not heard in this word, okay? And then talk and work also falls in this category. It is talk, work, and not talk or walk, okay? The L is not heard in those words. Would, should, and could follows the trend, okay? You don't have to add the L when you're pronouncing these words. Is that okay? Let's move to the next one. Now we're going to look at a group or a set of words that a lot of people mispronounce, maybe because they add more syllables to the words. But the British usually cut out syllables in words, so thereby they don't pronounce syllables one after the other. Let's look at this word. Take a look at this first one. Some people say vegetable. But the right way to say it is vegetable. Vegetable and not vegetable. Vegetable? No. Vegetable. Correct. The next one is very similar. Here people say chocolate. Okay? But it is chocolate and not chocolate. Okay? Because you don't make the syllables longer. Okay? The British, like I said before, they like to cut out some syllables when pronouncing their words. So chocolate and not chocolate. Chocolate or chocolates. It's chocolates. Okay? Another one really common, this word. Number 6. Again, the British usually drop a syllable. I hear a lot of people say comfortable or comfortable. It should be comfortable. Comfortable, not comfortable. Comfort, no. Comfortable, no. Comfortable. Comfortable. 3 syllable and not comfortable, making it 4 syllables. Another word that might surprise you is this word. Okay, you might be tempted to say library. Library. Okay, but the correct pronunciation is library. Library and not library, making it 3 syllable. No, it is a 2 syllable word, so you go library. Library. Come to think of it, library is more easier to pronounce than library. Sounds like library, library. So it is quite easy for you to say library than library. Am I right? You see, this one confuses my students a lot. They usually say jewelry, jewelry. Okay, but it is jewelry, jewelry. There is no need adding the sound when you're pronouncing this word. Just say jewelry and not jewelry, jewelry. Does that make sense? So this brings us to another word that I usually hear people mispronounce this word. This particular word is not wrestle, okay? But we say wrestle, wrestle. It's a 2 syllable word and the T is also silent, just like the previous one we looked at. Okay, we have wrestle, wrestle, and not wrestle. Another word that I found very, very interesting and I hear people mispronounce is beret, beret. They usually say berets, berets. Okay, the T is silent here, so you say beret. And also, we're looking at this word ballet, ballet. Usually they say ballet. My students will always struggle with this. They will say, but the T is there, so why do we say ballet? Why not ballet? No, it is ballet, okay? We've come to the end of commonly mispronounced words. I'll see you in our next lesson. Mwah.